What's up, guys? This is your girl, Haydee Baby, one third of the Ladies Pitch Podcast, and I'm here to give you a quick rundown about Anchor by Spotify. So basically, it's the easiest way to make a podcast with everything you need, all in one place. So here's how it works. Anchor lets you record and edit podcasts right from your phone or computer, so no matter what your setup is like, you can start creating today. Then you can distribute your podcast to the most popular listening platforms, including Spotify, with just a single tap. Anchor is also the only place you can publish video podcasts to Spotify. So with Anchor, creators can earn money in a variety of ways, including ads and podcast subscriptions. And best of all, Anchor is totally free. So download the Anchor app or go to anchor.fm to get started. Now let's go on with the episode.
Are you with the shits? Cause they are. Straight out of the Bronx. It's Haydee and Lexi. And you are now tuned into Ladies Pitch. Here's your host, Haydee Baby and Lexi, the motherfucking savage.
What's up? Welcome to another episode of the Ladies Pitch Podcast. This is your favorite mommy, Haydee Baby. Back at it with a wonderful audio experience once again. And I'm not alone. I'm joined tonight by none other. I'm going to let him introduce himself. And before he starts, I want you to introduce yourself with the Instagram morning intros that you post. So without further ado, my guest tonight is none other than
Yo. Since this is dropping tomorrow, technically, then we'll do it like this. Good morning, you beautiful motherfuckers. It's a beautiful Monday, and it's beautiful because you're here. You could have been anywhere else in the world, but you're here with me, and I 100% appreciate that. And my name is Penrose Eames, man. I am, my name is Penrose Eames. I'm dope as fuck. As far as the introduction, I mean, if you don't know me, this is me. You got some shitty ass old heads. You can find me anywhere that a podcast can be found on Protest and Riot or Docked Up. You can catch me on YouTube at YCC Entertainment with the open mic shows. And in a week or so, well, I said a month, you can catch me back on Penrose versus anybody because that'll be back. I'm a poet, and I'm definitely, if not your baby mama's, I'm definitely your sister-in-law's favorite podcaster.
Hey. I'll take that. I am a fan of like your morning intros.
For real? You know what?
I am, and with the hand gliding down the face.
Yeah, you know what? That came from that's crazy. So like, I started doing that because like that. So if you hold your hand over your eye, that actually means something. It's a signal. But also for me, it's used like when I'm going through shit. If I'm stressing, if I put my hand over my eye like that, it's like it calms me down. So for real, me putting that in the intro is just me always sending like somebody that watched that video. It's just my way of doing it. So thank you.
So
I appreciate that.
So that's your way of starting off your day, like at ease, like putting yourself at ease.
Yeah. Yeah. It's like back in the day, I had a friend, and this back when like Snapchat first came out, let you know how long ago this was. And so we would talk through on Snapchat and shit, and that's how, you know what I mean? I don't know, it was like it's me and her thing. And so it just became a thing of like calming down. So like I feel like when I do those videos, since I'm coming from a space of love, man, like, you know, love is intense, but when you're trying to start your day off, you want love, but you want it from a very calm place. You know what I mean? No matter how intense it is, you want it to be calm. You want it to be delivered with a goodness behind it, with a purpose behind it. You don't want it to be that angry love, that upsetting love, that random love. You want it to be directed, kind ass, yo, this shit made me feel like that nigga ass love. And so that's where I be trying to come from with that.
Okay, so there's a deeper meaning behind it. You know what that reminds me of? You,
What's that?
I know you're a movie buff the way I am because we've had this conversation before. I know you've seen the movie Face Off. Remember that was the thing that he would do to like his wife and to his daughter. Like he would glide his hand over their face.
Over his face? Yeah, I didn't even think about that, but you're right.
That's what I think of when I see that.
That's dope. That's dope.
It was random.
That's a nice correlation though. No, that's dope. That's a nice tie. I didn't even remember that. I mean, I remember it, but I wasn't even thinking about it when I did that. That's what's up.
Yeah, but thank you for joining me. Thank you for joining me.
No, for sure. Thank you for having me.
This is actually your first time. We're popping your Ladies Pitch, Cherry. This is your first time on Ladies Pitch. You on Ladies Pitch, yeah. Yeah, you were previously with Durag and I on Bad Decisions.
That was a good time. Yeah.
We actually did have a really good time. We had a good conversation. And
we did.
And you are, from what I know, you're a Virgo. I'm not going to get into my personal feelings about Virgos, but I feel like we've had more Virgos on this show than any other sign.
Yo, I'm sorry, it cut out for a little bit. After you said I'm a Virgo, go back.
You're a Virgo. Sorry. I'm not going to get into my personal feelings about Virgos, but we have had more Virgos on this show than any other sign, and that is a fact. That is a Ladies Pitch fact.
What's everybody's sign on Ladies Pitch? Is it more water signs?
Yeah, Lexi and myself were both Pisces. Yes, we're both Pisces, but we're two totally different fish. If that makes sense.
That's cool, but I think it's like off air, just like me and you. I think we had this conversation before. Where I said the person, if you look at the astrology table and you really base it how it actually goes. Instead of starting at Capricorn, you really start at Aries because that's really the start of the real year, and you put everything on the table. Well, I guess you can base it anyway. It still should work its way out because it's 12 of them. But any fucking way, the person that's directly across the table from you
is Virgo.
That is the person you, and this is why y'all have more Virgos than anything. Mm-hmm. The person that's across the table from you, that is the person you will have the best conversations with. You will have the best sex with that person. You will have the best adventures with those people. You will have the worst times with those people. Everything with the person right across the table from you is fucking intense. But you're not supposed to date those people. And those are the people you always want to date. So in relation to the show, your energy attract Virgos.
Yeah, you know Lexi actually has said numerous times on this pod that she attracts a lot of Virgos.
Yeah, Pisces women attract Virgo men very easily. I don't know the other way around because I'm not a Virgo woman and I've never asked a Pisces man. You know what's weird?
Well, my ex of 5 years, he was a Virgo. So that's why I said I won't share my personal feelings on Virgos. But I do know that we've had more Virgos on this show as guests than any other sign.
Look, my longest relationship was with a Pisces, and I won't share my views on Pisces.
And you survived?
So,
and you survived? Shout out to you.
When I say that was like the one relationship that made me understand, like, you never heard somebody tell you that, like, jealousy is just love and hate at the same time. It's like, I never felt like that woman was jealous, but I use that I preface with that to say, it's the first time I understood like love, but also like a woman's wrath, like at the fucking utmost. Like y'all have big hearts. Y'all are very, 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 very.
It's a gift and a curse.
Because y'all believe people out. Like it's easier. Like the nigga that y'all dealing with, it's easier for y'all to look at that nigga like he really gonna hurt y'all or he's lying than it is for y'all to believe. Like y'all to believe outside forces, not in the sense of like tearing down your relationship, but y'all always believe in somebody trying to hurt y'all anyway because your heart's so big. And so if you can deal with the people on the outside world, then the person that's closest to you, of course, your heart's going to be more like, I'm smacked, so I'm going to say gingerly. And so anything somebody says about that person, even if you don't want to believe it, it's going to hit you harder. You know what I'm saying?
Oh, yeah, for sure. I can definitely say that for myself. I'm very sensitive.
Yeah,
it's crazy because I'm very sensitive, but I'm also very like I like
but
to say
y'all motherfuckers is You're
Yeah,
always
I
ready
like to say that
fight.
I'm very like an emotional gangster, but it's because I know that I'm sensitive. So the minute that I'm hurt, I want to square up. Like, how dare you hurt me like that?
And that's the thing with Joe. Like I lived that for like damn near 7 years, and it was like like it was a great but crazy relationship. So it was good, it was bad, it was up, it was down. But yeah, I get it.
Not all relationships.
But yeah, I am a Virgo, and that's why y'all have so many on the show because all the Pisces women, and it's a and I'm actually born on the cusp too. Like I'm technically a Virgo Libra, I guess. I claim Virgo more than
line Libra.
So look, I just so for me, I never paid attention to that for the longest time, and the only reason.
So I'm assuming that's not the first time you hear line Libra.
Line Libra, no, it's not. I haven't. Mm-hmm. I haven't. Ever since I actually started looking at this cusp thing. But look, the way I know I'm truly a Virgo is because the only reason I even accept the cusp is because it's called the cusp of beauty. Like it's not like that's some Virgo's arrogance being like, bitch, I'll take it. Like, yeah, but no, I am a Virgo, true Virgo, and yeah. I'm glad
to all the Virgos.
And
shout out to all my favorite Virgos. They know who they are. All right, I actually have some good topics for us tonight that we're going to get into. But before we begin, I'm going to start off with icebreaker questions, 3 icebreaker questions for you. But before that, make sure you guys like, subscribe, share, review the podcast on all streaming platforms. You know, you can find Ladies Pitch on Instagram at Ladies Pitch and on Twitter, Pitch718. Also on YouTube, our handle on YouTube is at Ladies Pitch. So where you can find a podcast, you will find the Ladies Pitch podcast there. So, Mr. Rose, what would you prefer for me to call you? Penrose, Rose, Pen, anything else? Any other AKA?
There's a lot of AKAs, but
we'll go with Rose.
I mean, yeah, Rose is cool, Pitt is cool, Penrose is cool.
Penrose.
I mean, whatever variation of people want to use as well. You know, as long as nobody calls me like Penny.
Could call you PR.
I mean, somebody's called me that before. It was very awkward when they did it because of the setting that it was in, but I could see it being used properly.
Penrose, Puerto Rico, you know?
All right. Yeah, man, yeah. I mean, and the crazy part, the Rose thing, like, I was very, 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 very on some shit, like, not to, like, ever try to sound like Ross, but people started calling me that anyway, so I was like, all right, as long as I didn't do it myself, then I can deal with it. And of course, it's spelled differently, but yeah. I mean, Penrose is cool. Rose is cool. Everybody really call me. A lot of niggas call me Rose. Actually, everybody do call me Rose, so that's fine too. Okay. Whatever you want to call me, as long as it's not Penny.
Let's see, because right now I'm downing a bottle of wine, and I'm really on some real hood rat shit because it's Pisces season. So I am literally right now drinking the wine straight out of the bottle.
Uh-huh.
I don't know what type of vibe I'm on tonight, but I am literally drinking pink Moscato straight out of the bottle like this shit is a 40.
No, not pink Moscato. No. I'm gonna keep you're right. It's Pisces season still, so I'm keep my time for myself.
Don't disrespect.
But look, ironically, I got
Pisces season on her podcast.
Look, ironically, I got on the pink crush. I got on the pink crush do-rag, the crush velvet pink do-rag. So I guess I'll allow it since I'm wearing the pink do-rag. Pink Moscato.
All right, so we got the vibe. We got the pink crush do-rag and the pink Moscato. See?
Yo, real shit.
It wasn't even planned. It wasn't even planned. All right,
shout out to Bow Wow. I ain't gonna lie, because these Bow Wow do-rags is the shit. But go ahead.
All right, so again, I have 3 icebreaker, 3 random questions for you. Question number 1: what is your underrated hobby?
Reading.
Underrated hobby.
That's the first thing that comes to mind. That I do that like that most adults will tell you they haven't touched a book since high school, and that's not like, if you really think about it in the way that America's built and the way that the people that we know, it's technically not a an improbable thing to think, and it's also not a download on anybody because most motherfuckers is just busy as shit. So you have to like build reading into your schedule. But I would say reading. But like if I had to, let me see something that's a little more interesting. My underrated hobby. Hold on. See, I feel like the Jeopardy music is bouncing in the background and shit. And Alex is up there looking at me with the hurry up and answer.
Alex Trebek.
Hurry, yeah. Like I told you, remember when you met me? I told you it's always TV in my head. Everything is a TV show. All right, so listen, my most underrated hobby would probably be hell yeah. Honestly, people watching. That's not a real hobby though. Do I have a real hobby? Let me stop.
I love people. I was people watching today.
I bet
people watching.
Yeah, that's an underrated hobby. You know what? Yeah, I'm just answering straight out. That is what it is. I love people watching.
Me too.
I'm not gonna lie. I extensively white people watch. I know in this world that we live in.
Oh my god, that's exactly what I was doing today. I was in Hoboken, white people watching.
Nice, yo, like it's really a sport. Like people don't give as much credit as it really is because it sounds like you're really just being funny. But like if you go out and watch white people do what they do, you just laugh your ass off all day. It's an enjoyable thing.
It is, and Hoboken is a predominantly white area. So I sat on a bench, no lie, like an old lady. I literally sat at a bench. Like I went to the gym. I came out the gym. I sat at a bench. That's right outside the gym. And I stood there for about like 20 minutes, just people watching with a smoothie in my hand. And I'm just like, white people do the darnest things. I'm just in my head like, I never see this shit around my way. I never see shit like this in the hood.
Yeah.
And I'm just like in amazement.
And I think that's why it's beautiful. Yeah, I think that's why it's a beautiful thing. It's not really a thing like you said. It's not a thing where you're really looking at white people like, ew, or what the fuck. I mean, you might get some what the fucks in there for real because you're like, yo, did that shit really just happen? You know what I mean? But it is because it's a dynamic that you don't see on a daily basis. So, I don't know. It's an entertaining thing.
For sure.
Yeah, white people watching. I think that's people watch in general. But white people watching is
it's a lot more interesting. It's a lot more interesting, yeah. For sure.
Yo, yeah, no doubt. So that was, I'll answer with that.
Okay. All right. So question number 2: if you could teleport anywhere right now, where would you go?
Anywhere? Can I give you like top 3?
Listen, whatever. It's your world right now. These questions.
I'm gonna give you 3. The Netherlands, because I ain't never been.
Where?
The Netherlands.
Okay.
Because I've never been, and I want to see it for some reason. Like it intrigues me. Mm-hmm. Bali, because it's one of the most beautiful places I've ever seen in my motherfucking life.
Okay.
I'm gonna give you 5 just to use as my world. Ethiopia, because it's the one place that in all the Western colonization of everything, the UK, the Brits, colonizing a lot of Africa. It's the one country that was never touched by white people, and it's like 7 years or 8 years, the calendar difference or something like that. Like it's 2015 in Ethiopia. It's like the one. So I would just want to go and learn. What I just read 3? Turks and Caicos. Nah.
You want to be out there with Drake, Turks and Caicos?
That was, what? Because Turks and Caicos, for some reason, when I was a young nigga, and I was trying to like when you first catch your first fly wave, that's when the fancy cars. Pimping all over the world. That's that Bobby V here.
Luda and Bobby.
And he said something about Turks and Caicos in that song. And for some reason, that shit just stuck with me. I always wanted to go. I looked it up, and I was like, "Yo, it was dope." Anyway, and I think right back on Fresh Prince, that was somewhere like Ashley went to for like a vacation. I don't know, some weird shit. Any motherfucker way. And then the 5th one would probably be Singapore. I love Singapore.
Oh,
Like
so you have
Singapore is
4
probably the
because you named 4.
huh?
You named 4.
That's 4. That's only 4.
You named 4. You said you were gonna name 3. No, take it though.
Oh
Okay.
no, then because I had said I was gonna give you 5. My bad. I changed it. I did say 3 at first, and then I changed it. But I do got to throw Singapore in there. So look, all right. If I got to really, 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 really just give you one, I'm gonna give
Okay.
you one. Cause all of those, now I really think about it. If I can teleport anywhere, just because I've been there and it is the best place I feel like I've ever been in my life, I will go to Singapore. Like that's if you man, if anybody that's listening, if you've never been to Singapore, you get the fucking chance to go to Singapore. Please go. I had a time of your motherfucking life. I've never been anywhere where I went shopping and and the place I bought clothes from and got like grannies and pennies from. You leave and you're walking back down that same street and you're like, yo, where's the mall? Niggas was looking like, yo, this is the building we was in, but ain't no clothing stores. And you know there's still some clothing stores, but this bitch rocking. Yo, at a certain time in the mall, it's this mall they call the Full Flows of Hoes or something.
Wow.
The Orchard Mall. It's the Orchard Mall in Singapore. At certain times of the day, the walls flip around, and it's like bars back there, and so the clothing stores just turn into bars. So this shit is like, and this was back, yo. I went there. This was back during the when 9/11 happened. This was back in 2001, 2002 time frame. I was out there, so like, yeah, I can only imagine what they got going on now. Singapore was beautiful. The people was nice as fuck.
Yeah,
That
I know
shit
someone
about
told me that it's beautiful. I know someone that traveled to Singapore and they
yeah,
said it's very beautiful.
that shit about like the litter shit though. That's real. Your ass
Yeah.
get arrested. Yeah, I ain't gonna front. Me and my men fell asleep outside of we was drunk as shit and fell asleep outside of a 7-Eleven. We was young in a bitch.
7-Eleven?
Look, the craziest shit, the dumbest shit the nigga did when he got to Singapore was to go to the most American places because everything's different there. Like there's no such thing
That's
as a
what I've
Newport.
heard.
There's no such thing but a Newport anywhere except America. As soon as he got to Singapore, like you can't dock immediately, like right up on their coast. So that's like this little boating. When you take this boating, they got all of these little like these little buses waiting for you and shit, right? And so like yo, you know, and then what it is, they trying to get you to come to their restaurants and shit. Long story short, I'm like, man, I'm gonna jump on one of these. But I remember my people told me as soon as you get to Singapore, go to McDonald's and get a 40-ounce. I said, what? They said,
Yeah,
just think
I heard
about
that
it.
McDonald's is very different out the
Yeah.
country. Yeah.
So I went in, I bought a beer, and I was like, yo, fuck the fact that it's a beer. I've had beer before, clearly, but this is about to be an interesting day. Yeah, Singapore is different. I mean, well, out the country is different anyway. America's cool, but yeah. But yeah, Singapore, that'll be the one place.
Okay.
Thank you for letting me get my shit off. I know I talk a lot.
No, it's all good. It's all good. Don't worry about it. All right. So the third and last random question is what song do you currently have on repeat?
Ooh, currently? Joe Moses, We Different. That's on repeat, however. That was that one joint.
You have more than
The
one
joint
song.
with
You have more than one song on repeat?
I mean, if we just talk about one, then yeah, it's Joe Moses, We Different.
Okay.
That's the one that's on repeat right now. Like hella. It changes, but right now, yeah.
Is that like an R&B song? What is it?
Nah, Joe Moses is a West Coast rapper, nigga, West Coast blood nigga from LA.
Okay. I've never heard of him, but so it's a rap song?
Yeah, that's what's on repeat right now. Yeah, I mean, I got a repeat list, so you know what I mean. But if I just had to give you one, that would be it.
Mm-hmm.
It's probably between that and We Go Love Did You Tell Your Boyfriend, but we'll go with Joe Moses.
Okay.
I guess you've heard that song before.
I guess the other song could go into like what toxic song do you have on repeat?
Yeah, it would be that. Did you say your boyfriend that we broke up? I'm still. I ain't gonna front. I'm still with the cussing song. I know everybody's tired of it, but I'm still with it. What's that other shit? I'm still on the Takeoff
And Quavo?
and Quavo. I'm still on that shit on repeat.
Which one?
And like what? The
Hotel Lobby?
Yeah.
Oh,
I
yeah.
still got that
That's
on
my
repeat.
shit. That's one of my workout songs. That's on my workout playlist.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
That and like I don't know, some of us is on like repeat. Oh, I still keep on repeat. Like there you go, friend. That's old as shit now, but Sticky by Drake, that's on repeat like a motherfucker.
Oh, Sticky. Okay.
That's my shit.
That's probably just like one out of maybe like 3 songs that I like from that album. That's from Honestly Nevermind, right?
Wow.
No, it's true. I mean, it's not a bad album, but it's just there's a certain type of like, there's a certain type of vibe that I like to listen to Drake in.
And I know I saw you bigging up Certified Lover Boy. Ew.
Yes.
Come on, see, this is why that Pisces Virgo shit.
No, but right now, I'm still bumping Her Loss.
I mean, Her Loss is cool. It was, what Her Loss is for me. All those times we were supposed to get. You grew up in the same era hip hop I grew up in. So remember how we were supposed to get like a Beans and Bleak album and we never got it. A Kim and Foxy album, we never got it.
They were rivals. That was never gonna come out.
But they was cool at first. You know
what I mean? Of course, like all female rappers, they're always cool at first until they realize that the other one is competition. Then.
But I just feel like Her Loss was like, it was like something you wanted to hear from 2 niggas. Like that's the point I was getting at. Like 2 albums from 2 niggas, we should have got like the commission. We never got it. So I think it was an album that you wanted that album from them 2 niggas. But it's a cool album. It's not bad at all. It's
not. And it actually made me listen to 21 Savage, because I wasn't like a big 21 Savage fan. I did know some of his songs, but it actually made me want to listen to him more just because I like the shit that he was on Her Loss. So
yeah, 21 be doing this thing. Yeah. I fuck with him. Oh, Slick. A nigga did what Slick Rick did. Say, come from the UK, come get some of this medical money.
I remember how social media was in a frenzy when they found out he wasn't American.
Right.
that was a funny time. That was funny. Oh well, Rosé, you survived. You survived 25% of the episode so far, which is just the random questions, but we still have more to go. So we'll see how you do. So the next, the first topic I should say that I have for us is a video. I'm actually going to play the audio. A video of rapper and TV personality Sukihana. I hope I said that right. Sukihana? Suki? Well, I know she goes as Suki as well. And this is a video that I saw of her on a podcast show. And she said the following, and we're gonna talk about it once I play it. Give me 1 minute. If I can find it. Okay.
Sometimes the best dick come from the nigga we call bro.
Hold up. Say that again.
It's the truth. He love you for real. That man that you been calling bro, that been your friend. He always there for you. He pull up everything. That's your homeboy. He love you for real. He loves you. He got love for you. He been there 4 or 5 different niggas. He love you. He know who you is. That be the best dick.
I find that so humorous. Anyway, so you would be able to answer the question. Of course, you won't be able to say, bro, but would you agree that the best pussy comes from the woman that you call sis?
Let me preface with saying you don't use the bro sis dynamic to get pussy. Let me preface it by saying that you don't use it for that reason. But if it happens, then yes, it usually seems to be, even if it ain't the best pussy, it's definitely the best sex, and it's because, like she said, a nigga love you, and it's a different kind of love. It's not the love you've had with a boyfriend you fell in love with, or a nigga that you was feeling real deep. It is that love of, it's an intimacy that's felt from a different area. You see what I'm saying? And so now when you having sex with the chick you call a sis, is you both understand there is no expectation after this outside of what it was before. Nothing changes, but I'm like she said, bro done seen you with the last 4-5 niggas. He done seen your happy times. He done been there to dry your tears. When y'all are intimate with each other, his whole thought process and purpose is nothing more and nothing less, I should say. Definitely way more, but nothing less than your ultimate pleasure. You're not sleeping with sis because he can't get no pussy nowhere. It was like I said, you don't use the brother-sis dynamic to have sex. If it happens, the reason that it is the best is because that nigga, when this happened in my lifetimes, I've been doing it I'm definitely trying to, I'm only going into it with the mind frame, with the initial mind frame, and primary mind frame of making sure she's ultimately pleased. Because I do get to see her from that side. I see what stresses her out. I see what she's been going through. The tears she didn't cry, there ain't nobody else seeing. You see what I'm saying? So yeah, I would have to agree with her.
So it's due to it's due to the love that you have for sis, aside from, it being someone else.
Yeah, now this don't go down. Don't get me wrong. This don't go down with every chick you call sis. If you smashing any chick you call sis, you really don't mean it that way. You see what I'm saying? This happens, but yeah, that is what it is. It's because of the love that you have for her. It's not just because it's pussy. You know what I mean? Showing out just because it's new pussy, or showing out just because you're getting some pussy. Period. That's a whole different. You ain't even gotta have love to do that. You're just trying to perform. You know what I mean? But and it ain't even, you know what I mean? It's a different love. Let's say you fall in love with a chick, and you're not gonna sleep with her the same way you slept with an old girl. So it's about the care. It's about the technique that you take with that person for those reasons. And it's not. I don't think a nigga think about it like, oh yeah, I'm about to give her, section beat. You know what I mean? It's not a totally different nigga head. Just the energy that's associated with intimacy with that person.
It's the closeness you have.
Yeah, right.
The love, the closeness you have. Yeah, I guess, you know what? From that perspective, I could see it.
Look,
I don't agree 100% because I've had, I
said most women won't, but I get it.
Yeah, I guess the way you explained it, you're right. You have a different type of vibe. I guess a bro, quote unquote bro, that I have for 5, 6, 7, or 10 plus years, or even 20 years, is a different bond that I would have with a dude that I just met or that I just started recently dating. So yeah, it is different. But for me, at the same time, like a bro, and I've had this conversation numerous times on the podcast, off the mic, with friends, I can't see myself crossing the line with someone that I consider a bro. And even if I did, I've said this numerous times, I cherish my male friends, my male friendships, right? If I ever cross that line with any one of them, like I wouldn't be able to be like, oh, this is my bro. I could never introduce him.
You know what? Now, let me say this.
As my bro, because we either crossed the line once or we crossed it a number of times.
Right. Let me say this. I can't speak for every nigga. Now, I will say any chick that I'm calling sis off top, I do make that rule. If I call you sis off top, is for that reason, not to cross the line. Now, the women that I've slept with, that being that, and so, all right, so look, when Slim said the bros, I feel like she was saying like the homies. So I'm gonna say it that way. I've slept with my female friends. You're right. I've never slept with a chick I call a sis, but I have slept with female friends before. But it's that same energy. If that makes sense.
Have you ever ruined a friendship with a female because you crossed that line and had sex? That laugh says it all.
Have you ever
chuckle?
Have you ever heard that? Remember that joint I sent you about the best sex I never had? That wasn't, or the best sex I had that wasn't on Valentine's Day.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
That story, yes.
Oh, okay. Wasn't she a Scorpio?
Yeah,
I recall you saying that on the episode.
Yeah. Yep. She surely was. Water signs, man. Water signs is what I'm attracted to, but shit.
Don't drown over there.
It's crazy dealing with them. But no, so I mean, I will agree with you there. Like the actual term, if we looking at it as brother sister, that actual line, then yeah. So, and I should have said that when I was explaining. I wanted to keep it in terms of what you asked. You know what I mean? But in the sense of I've had sex with female friends, like really close female friends. I don't. If I call you sis, I do not cross that line. Have I crossed that line before? I ain't gonna say it hasn't happened, but it's happened like once.
Okay.
Maybe twice. If I can, I'll just say twice.
I'm sure it has. It's happened to so many people. I know so many people that has happened to. And I'm not saying that I haven't. It's happened to me in the past, and that's why now I'm able to say that I wouldn't cross that line with. Listen, right, but I know a lot of people. I know a lot of guys. But to say that I'm close with them is very few. There's very few people that I can actually say that I'm close to. I know a lot of people, but I'm not close to a lot of people.
Hey, yo, no bullshit. I got more chicks out here that I call sis that ain't really that close as opposed to the chicks that's really close. Mm-hmm. Like, to me, calling a chick sis sometimes, don't get me wrong. Now, let me say this, because calling a chick sister, for real, when women really let you in and we start understanding the woman's dynamic from that standpoint, you definitely don't take it lightly. So I don't want nobody to think that but there has been times where like, just like the same way we use bro and bro don't really mean, you know what I mean, that you're close with a nigga. It's the same thing as like saying nigga, you know what I mean? So there have been times where like, but at the same time, it's like you said, I'm not gonna cross that line with somebody I make that connection with. So for me, I don't know. It was just like
I think about it more of like I think about it more of like she said the best sex, right? So I think about just having the best sex ever with one of my bros. And I have a very addictive personality. So if I have something that brings me like extreme pleasure, I'm going to keep wanting it. You know what I mean? So I can see myself, my bro probably was like, let me just give her this one time. But in my mind, no, we going to keep this going. So now what happens? Feelings can come into play from him or from myself. So then it's like, that's where it gets sticky.
Without it being bro, you ain't never had that situation? It's just a really close male friend?
I've never had sex with any of my close male friends, no.
Okay. All right. So for me, I get what you're saying. I got a homegirl that I don't think I've ever told the story.
It's the chuckle you give before the story that I know it's just gonna be we're strapping in for a ride.
There's a friend who has been like in my life for years, and like motherfucker, we fell out. When we really sat down to talk, realized why we fell out. It was like some deep shit. Motherfucker didn't like been in my kid life, you know what I mean? My parents know all type of shit like this, my motherfucker. And it's just my friend. Like, I've never called a sis, you know what I mean? We don't go, when we go out, that ain't bro, like, it ain't nothing like that. We introduce each other as friends. But real intimate, like, in my life, like, and intimate in the true definition of the word, not just on some sex shit. So, I say all that to say, in essence, in a conversation we're having, we was chilling one day, and I was just like, yo, I was like, can I ask you a very disrespectful question from a very respectful place?
Wow. Let me write that down. Can I ask you a very disrespectful question from a respectful place?
A respectful place, yeah.
I like that, actually.
Yeah, that's You got you know what I mean? Because the question is that you got to preface with that. You about to ask somebody some way left field shit. Um, so I forgot what time, what was going on, but she was about to go out on a date or whatever, and I was like, "Yo, let me eat your pussy." And I said, "Just let me eat your pussy out of appreciation." And she was like, "What?" And I was
Out
like,
of
"I know that's."
appreciation?
Look, I was like, "I know that shit sound crazy." I was like, "I don't want no head. I ain't trying to fuck." I was like, and I broke it down. I was like, "You've been in my life like this, like that. You've been this person, that person, this, that, and the third." And don't get me wrong, of course, I was sexually attracted to her and this, that, and that. I'm not saying that you just look at any woman and you just like, "Oh, I'm gonna eat your pussy out of appreciation." Nah. But in the essence of what we're talking about, a really close friend, like I agree with you on not crossing the sis bro line, but that energy, that knowing somebody from a plane of not fucking up, that energy of knowing somebody, spending time with somebody, being around somebody like 6 days out the week, sleeping in the same bed with this person and not doing nothing for years. Just that's just your friend. You know what I mean? So I was like, "Yo, I know you're about to go on a date. Let me use my head, see you on your date with post-nut clarity." And so I
Did she
broke it
let
down.
you?
Eventually, when I say eventually, maybe like 5 minutes of talking, 15 minutes of talking. Because at first she's like, "Yo, who the fuck? Who says this? Like, what do you mean?" You know what I mean? I broke it down and explained what I was saying. I gave her a head, and then she went to like, you know what I mean, try to fuck, and I was like, "Nah," and she was like, "Yo, you serious?" I was like, "Yeah, Slim. I just wanted to, you know what I mean? I'm good at what I do. I really appreciate you. You about to go on a date. It was a beautiful day. I don't know what my frame of thinking was, but it really was out of appreciation. Now, this was my friend. This is somebody I'm really close with. This is somebody who's seen me cry. I've seen her cry. I've been there for four or five boyfriends. I'm the nigga that came to the house when the nigga was trying to break in the door. I'm the nigga that moved the couch with you off the balcony. This is my friend. You know what I mean? So, in essence of how Slim was talking about it, yeah, man, you really do put your when it's somebody close to you, and it's not an actual it's not a relationship you're responsible for in that typical sense. You're responsible for the relationship because that's your motherfucker. That's who you close to. That's your friend.
Let me ask you a question. Was that the first time that you made a move on her?
We hadn't had sex before.
So before you offered the fellatio, you had sex with her before?
That's kind of lingus, but
yeah, you know what I mean.
Yeah, I definitely know what you mean because I am a connoisseur of the fellatio giver. Anyway, yeah. I had slept with her before. That's what I'm saying. We're friends.
Okay. So she already knew that you were sexually attracted to her.
But this was like spaced out in between.
But regardless, you had sex with her before, so she knew that there was a sexual attraction from your part.
I mean, every time we fucked before, I wasn't even me just be the one that ever really, you know what I mean? So, I mean, yeah, she knew, yeah. But in essence of the way that this friendship is, sex has never been a thing that happens just because of sexual attraction. You know what I mean? You spend enough time with somebody, like, shit just happens sometimes. Like, it was never planned. It was never like, you know what I mean? Shit just happens sometimes. So,
no, I get it. It's kind of like when you work with people and you create a bond, and then the opposite sex, you guys work together all the time, every day, and then all of a sudden you find yourself attracted to this person and loving their vibe, loving their energy, and then all of a sudden you're in the back seat, bent over, and yeah. Anyway,
back now, memory lane. All right.
But I digress. Okay, so another question. I do have another question pertaining to your story. Another thing, because I said I have my resume is a little extensive when it comes to the Virgos. So my next question would be, did you offer to eat her pussy because she was going on a date and you were a tad jealous? You can be honest. This is a safe space.
Oh, no, listen. So listen.
Mm-hmm. So listen.
Everything. And I would just say anybody who's had any conversation with me or at any time, I'm the person that I am is the person that I am. In no way, shape, form, or fashion. To give you the short answer to your question, no, I was not jealous at all. Like, this is just my friend going on your date. She the one that wanted to stay after that and was like, "Yo, can I spend the night?" I'm like, "Nah, you going on a date? You're not about to stand this dude up." Like, I really wanted to do it.
Wow, she was ready to stand him up.
I mean, like, I'm good at what I do. It is what it is. But yeah. That has happened.
There's a reason why I asked that question, though. So no, your answer is no.
No, and I mean, I can understand why. Because if you're attracted to that person, you know she's going out on a date. If you gonna give her some good ass, it's like if a chick would do it to a dude, it's a form of submissiveness and a way to keep a motherfucker in the house. You know what I mean? If that's your aim. But no, it really was just, I don't know. I was feeling that day. I spoke it. It happened. And we moved on.
Okay.
Like, that's what I'm saying. Like, and that's my motherfucker, bro. Like, that's my nigga. Like, we talked the other day, and Slim was like, "Can you believe we ain't seen each other in this long?" And I'm like, "Nah." Like, she got her own business.
That's cool. So you guys are still friends.
Yeah, this is my motherfucker, bro. This is my dog. This is my motherfucker. I've been doing this motherfucker since 2010.
That's dope.
Yeah, that's my dog. That's my dog, man. Hell yeah, that's my motherfucker.
So I actually asked that question because I used to see this guy and we used to mess around, but we both knew that it would never be anything more than what it was, right? And but you know, with every situation that is like that, where you know the sex is amazing, but you know it's not going to lead anywhere, like you have that understanding, but you continue to fuck with one another, right? And my feelings were already kind of invested in the situation. So at some point when, like, I was able to, like, take off the rose-colored glasses and be like, girl, this ain't going anywhere. Like, you know, your true blessing is out there. I started dating. I still was messing with him, but I was dating. And he knew that because we were having sex with one another, I kept it a buck. And I'm dating. You know, I'm not out here fucking, but I'm out here dating. So if it leads to that, I just want you to know that that's what it is, right? So I remember there was a time that he came to my house unexpectedly, and I was getting ready for a date. And he was like, "Oh, where you going?" Whatever. And I'm going out on a date. So I'm getting ready. So he wanted to fuck me before I went out on the date. And I'm like, why? And I'm like, no, because I'm ready. I'm dolled up or whatever. And I'm like, no. And he was like, nah, let me fuck you before you go out on your date. And I'm like, why? He was like, because I want you to think about me while you out on your date. And I'm like, yo, how toxic is that? Like, but he was jealous, but he would not admit that he was jealous I was going on a date. But he was trying to say, he was trying to say that, like, he was like, oh, you look all right, you look cute, whatever. And I'm like, I know I look better than cute right now, you know?
Right.
Whatever, but fiending the fuck before I got on my date. So that kind of brought me back to that when you said she was going out on a date and you offered to eat her pussy. That just kind of took me back to that. So that's why I asked that question. And I asked him later on because we did stay friends. We haven't fucked around in years, but we did stay friends. And now that we're friends, he's like able to be a lot more honest about the situation we had. So like he'll ask me questions about things that went on back then, and I'll ask him questions, and we're totally transparent with one another. And he did confess that it was his way of, like, you know, he was jealous, so he was trying to.
I can see jealousy fueling that. I mean, I think every man's probably been in that position. I wasn't in that position then, but I'm not gonna say I've never been in that position before.
Yeah. Oh, I definitely I had that when I saw that video. I kept it in the tuck because I wanted to have the conversation with a man because I wanted a different perspective, and you actually did provide a great perspective that I didn't think of before. And that was basically that, you know, with your bro, with your sis, like, their energy is different, the vibe is different, the love is different. So I appreciate I appreciate you.
Let me end that part of the conversation by again saying you do not form brother-sister relationships with the intentions of having sex with that person. That is foul. If that's the only reason you're trying to get close to somebody and you're using that angle, that's foul because that person is giving you a different level of intimacy that they would only give somebody that was truly in that arena. You see what I'm saying? Now, if you're friends with somebody and lines just so happen to cross, that is what it is. But if you're using friendship strictly to get ass or strictly to get dick, then you're wrong. You're wrong as fuck.
Yeah, that sucks. It sucks,
Yeah,
and it
don't-
bothers me. It bothers me to think that some men actually do move that way.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
that's wrong.
Yeah, and they
That's
just wait for the perfect moment for the woman to be vulnerable, to and then get
Yep.
in there some way somehow, and it sucks.
And that-
I feel like there was another point. Damn, I just had another point in mind that I wanted to make regarding this topic, and it totally like the train left the station. I guess I'll bring it back when I remember. Okay, so the second topic that I have here is, Rose, why do you think that men are no longer chivalrous or romantic?
I don't think that.
I do, but you don't. Okay.
I do know that it happens. I don't think men as a whole are like that.
I would say
I do.
most men.
And I still okay. So let me say this: I can't tell a woman what her experience is. I can't tell women as a whole what y'all experiences are. So I don't want you to think I'm going to debate your experience because that would be asinine. That would be pretty stupid because you know what you go through. But I say that to say I also, from being a man, and what I have to understand is like somebody told me, the men that I hang around do certain things and act certain ways, and that's still just a small percentage of men in the world. You know what I mean? And so just because I hang around chivalrous niggas, because I hang around niggas that I think, now, and we got to break down what romance is too. Not really break it down, but in the essence of it's different than for everybody. But since I feel like I hang with men who are pretty romantic with their ladies, I tend not to understand this back and forth between men and women in this regard. But I see, I don't understand it because I'm not in it, but I see the points that are made, if that makes sense. And I think it can be fixed. I don't think it's that men aren't romantic. It's really a back and forth that we can get into if you want. We don't have to get into the back and forth, but of course the discussion.
Yeah, I don't. Like I said, I don't believe that. I feel like there's a very small percentage of men that are still romantic, that are still chivalrous, and I say that just I'm not currently dating, right? I'm trying to get out there and date, but because I'm a jaded woman, and I'm working through it, guys. I'm working through it, but I'm a jaded woman that has trust issues, so I don't necessarily feel like I'm 100% ready to date because I'm not ready to deal with the aftermath of disappointment of dating. That's the best way for me to put it.
Okay.
Right? Yeah, I'm just not ready to deal with it because no. And I think it's unfair to also jump in the dating pool when I know I'm not ready and I might actually meet a good man and mess him up. Because he's got his shit together. He's done all the work that's needed to be able to say, I'm ready for this. And then me, that I'm not 100% ready because I'm not done doing the work. It would be very selfish of me to lead a man like that on simply because I feel that he's quote unquote a good man in my eyes. Right. So,
Yeah.
I say that to say, I'm going to say, for example, right now at my age, me going out to, let's say, a bar, you don't find a lot of men that like would buy a woman a drink just to spark a conversation, or even a gentleman that'll even approach you at a bar to have a conversation and get to know you.
Are you saying this? It don't matter what bar you go to. This happens.
Not recently. Not like
All right,
I want to say
check.
now. I haven't. All right, so I want to say pre-COVID. Post-COVID, I haven't really been outside like that.
Right, I get that.
Pre-COVID, I want to say like 2 years before COVID, I was starting to notice the difference. Now that I've gone out post-COVID, a huge difference. Men don't really approach women anymore.
All right.
And I know a lot of us are to blame for that, because the first thing we do when we feel a way about a man approaching us is go and pull out our phones or tweet about it or write a status about it. Oh, this creep, blah, 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 did this and this and that. So that kind of, it's a little off-putting to men.
Yeah.
To want to approach women.
That has something to do with it. I think, yes. Okay. So men as a whole, of course, there's generational differences, but men as a whole, yes, that has something to do with it. You want to know the biggest thing that has something to do with it? It's something that y'all do, especially with the modern woman that y'all doing. Y'all realize that men don't give a fuck. Now, don't get me wrong. As adults, it is good to have adult things, and tangible benefits can come from adult things. But men don't really give a shit how much money y'all make. And women tend to, nowadays, a lot of women, I'll say not all of y'all, but a lot of women tend to
appreciate that.
Use, no doubt. A lot of women tend to use their money as a bargaining chip. You know what I'm saying? As if respect is only supposed to be built on money. And so when a lot of men don't approach y'all because they don't want to have the initial conversation of, what's your credit score, how much money you make, what is this, what is that? Like, I just met you in a bar. You said men won't approach women and buy them drinks anymore. That being a risk of the conversation right there, because you got to think, when a dude buy you a drink, all he really trying to do is relax and talk. But he not walking up on you and asking you, are you barren or not? Do you want to have kids? What are your marriage plans? Right? So why does a woman think that talking about credit scores and all of this, and maybe not just buying a drink in a bar, that's probably a little excessive, because I would say that shit happens on like date one. But in the essence of what you're talking about, men being romantic and chivalrous, and chivalry being, in the essence of, in the hypothetical situation we're talking about, buying a woman a drink in a bar. If it doesn't happen as much, I honestly think that's what it is. It's a back and forth. It's for one, social media has a lot to do with it. It's lying to us and telling us that we don't like each other. Two, and so people tend to believe that.
I agree with you on that. The gender wars, it's big.
Yeah, and they really shouldn't exist. You know what I mean? It was like one day, off the subject. It was one day when somebody posted it today, and they was like, they posted like 8 different pages, and they was like, has anybody ever like seen a video of these people? Have they seen people interact with them? Because 9 times out of 10, the people you follow on, at some point in time, you're gonna see a video of them, this, that, and the third, and nobody could find anything. So what they was really saying was like, because all of these pages, what they was on was the gender war shit and exploitation shit and all of that. So I was like, what if these pages is just made for that? They got all their followers in the world. They got all the algorithm traffic. What if it is made for that? Because that's what we see on a daily basis now. Is like one of the dumbest questions for me. I hate it when any either side says it. Do black women really pay for haircuts? Shut up.
Listen, if I'm feeling you, I'm paying for haircuts. I send you lunch money. And this is one of the conversations that Red and myself had on our Valentine's Day episode. Like, whether we should gift like a fuck buddy, a gift for like Valentine's or Christmas or stuff like that. Like, I'm that chick that does that shit. I'm not going to go all out, but I'm going to show my appreciation. If you a fuck buddy, like, why should I not show my appreciation for all the times you've made me orgasm? I think that I
No,
think you
I
deserve
agree.
some appreciation, because what do people do? What do employees do when management or the supervisors go around and be like, "You're doing a great job. Keep up the good
That,
work." Doesn't that
that
motivate you to be a better
they still like
employee?
real shit because that's one of the things that when it's not done, that is one thing that an employee complains about. And for anybody
Exactly.
listening, look, this cancel culture season, so you got to tell people, which I don't give a fuck, but you got to tell people, listen, we're not equating your sexual partner to an employee. You crybaby bitches. Anyhow, but no, I
But
agree
yeah,
with you.
but
Like,
I would do that because I want to keep you. I want to make you feel loved and appreciated, so you will continue to lay the pipe, which is
so
essentially
look
what
though,
I want.
let me ask you this because now, in essence of what we're talking about, men not being, you don't feel men are romantic in this. One of my closest friends is an ex girlfriend, right? And she is part of a woman's group. And we were talking the other day, and she was just like, "Yo, uh, I was talking." She was like, "It's a bunch of black women, or I think they're all ex-military. I can't remember." But anyway, they was talking, and she says that they all agree that uh, nobody cares about them but them. Like y'all, like women as a whole, like women of color. I can consider Puerto Rican women black women anyway. So black women, um, y'all that men don't represent for y'all, like y'all represent for men. And I've heard like, and now because
I've
and
heard
keep it
that.
in the lane, keep it in the lane we talking about. I'm using this for that. She says that, and I've heard multiple women say this, and all of her friend group or this group she's in says this that if a man falls off, a woman will go 2 times harder to pick up the slack. But a man wouldn't do that for his wife. That if the wife falls off, he's just going to stay with his one job and all of this, and the third. And I'm like, yo, you can't have, for one, a lot of women are having that thought process without being in that position. And I think it's based off of the fact that a lot of women are afraid to date because of the, let's say, we'll use gender wars for lack of having to choose 50 different reasons why y'all afraid to date men now. And I'm not blaming this on y'all. I'm just saying, like I said, it's gender wars because men do the same thing. We take in with the untested theories, the things we've never been through, all of this shit we hear happen, and use it and say, I'm not ready for a relationship. Not that I'm not ready for a woman. Not that I don't want a woman in my life, but I'm not ready for a relationship. And because now pouring into your woman is now simp culture, and again, people allow social media
Right. And that I
to
hate
guide
that.
them.
I hate that.
Yeah,
I hate
and
that.
and now because if a woman does something nice for a man, it's pick me culture
Pick me.
because of that, and people
Well, I'm
use and
Mrs.
list
Pick
a lot
Me.
of
Fuck all that. I
it.
am Mrs. Pick
Right.
Me.
I never understood why being emotionally available for somebody and paying attention to somebody and picking up on this. So look, on the subject of the subject, I told my mans, and I say this on my show all the time. My mans was younger than me. My co-host was younger than me. I said, this is why I can come into your generation and fuck all your bitches and still go back home. And I'm not disrespectfully coming to your generation to fuck your women. I just can because you niggas don't know how to have conversations with them. You niggas don't pick up on little things. I said, big things matter because we're adults. I said, but it's that one time where she talking and y'all ain't talking about shit, but nothing about how your day was. And she mentioned that her microwave went out, and then 2 days later, motherfucking Amazon knocking on her door with a new microwave. That's how you fuck, my nigga. Because she picked up on little shit. You paid attention to her. She mentioned that her motherfucking I don't even saying you just do this to fuck. I'm saying in the sense of when you become that nigga, when you picking up on little shit, this culture that we live in now, yes, Sam, yeah, there's something wrong with you. Uh, who cares about a woman that much? And women pour into that shit. Women got to be strong now. Women got to pour, and that.
Well, we are also to blame for that, though. We are
I mean,
also to
most
blame for that because the modern women are walking around and saying, we don't need a man, we don't need a man.
Now,
So how many times can you tell a man you don't need him before he's gonna fall back and be like, all right, you don't need us?
Yeah.
All right. So you
And
can
you know
do
what
all
a
of
man
that.
hears?
The things that
When a man
women
hears you
look
don't
towards
need
men
us,
to do, you can do that.
a man hears you don't want us. When we hear that shit, I don't need no man. All we hear is I don't want no man. And and real quick,
I need a man because I ain't killing these water bugs.
Well, hey, listen. I told somebody, I said, men are logical. We're very, very easy to please. We're the most logical thing on earth. This is no bullshit. This is why I feel like women are the most passionate people on earth because y'all are the most. And this is not a disrespect. Just catch what I'm saying. Y'all are the most illogical people on earth. That's why y'all can multitask better than anything because logic to y'all, you have to plan everything out. And so I'll say it like this. Somebody told me one day, a man won't plan out shit, right? And a woman will plan the whole day. And then at some point that day goes to shit. And the man, because he's a typical man, he did listen to her plan, but sometimes he missed some of her points because maybe he wasn't listening like he should have been. But she planned the whole day out. But as soon as the day went to shit, the man, because he does not necessarily plan, handled the chaos like a champ, but she didn't. You see what I'm saying? I don't know if any of that just makes sense. You know what I'm getting at.
No, yeah, I get it.
All right, point being is men are the most logical people on earth. Y'all are the most illogical, but that's because y'all are the most passionate. Men, we are
emotional.
Yeah, men are simple.
Our actions are driven by our emotions most of the time.
Yeah, a man needs. If a man feels respected, he feels loved, and that's the thing. Men still are chivalrous. Men still are romantic. Men still want to buy you. You know what I'm saying? He wants to take you on trips. He wants to buy you things. He just wants to be made to feel that when he does these things, he is appreciated for it. He does not want to be that guy that comes home
and that's so hard to find nowadays.
No, it's not.
I feel that way. I feel that way. And like you said, you hit the nail on the head when you said that nowadays they're calling the romantic men, the chivalrous men, the men that actually show care for women. They're calling them simps.
Yeah, but you wanna get a man. I heard the OGs tell my sisters this and my cousins. You know what I'm saying? And I tell my nieces this and my little sisters. You want a nigga? Go where niggas go. Like real men.
Where they at? Where do they go?
Look, go to a nice cigar lounge. Start taking your own self to the basketball game. Start taking your own self.
Those things. I go to all of those things.
Well,
I mean, maybe I don't go there enough because, like I said, I'm not outside. I'm actually gonna change that for 2023. But post COVID, I haven't been outside like that. But you know what? I'ma put it out there because I'm hitting the gym hard. I'm going hard body. I know that it's gonna be a whole problem this summer. So Haydee Baby gonna be a whole problem. Just saying.
Men want to take care of y'all. Trust me. I see you. Look, that's what I'm saying. Like you getting the body ready for summer to go outside when niggas are, and I trust you. Like,
and look for my romantic.
Yeah, and one thing I will say this, and I am going to primarily say this to women, just because I've seen it a lot more in women nowadays. I don't know if it's just the culture we're in, if it's just the energy at the times, whatever. Stop being afraid. Yes, it might fail. It might. Then again, it might not. But if you keep one foot out the door, you'll never truly know. You got your women that run at the first sign of fear. Ain't even a true red flag. She just gets scared of something. Now I ain't saying stay around and let a nigga hit you or no shit like that, but y'all get what I mean. You got the woman who
fear. I'm gonna be 100% transparent with you. My fear falls more under what I stated previously, having to deal with the aftermath of disappointment, and
but
also
you dealt with disappointment before.
True. I have.
I'm not, and I'm sorry. I didn't mean to interrupt like that because I do understand this. I want this to be a two-way conversation, so I do apologize. But I just wanted to say that because that was one of the points I was gonna make was
I've dealt
if
with
it
disappointment
fails,
before. Yes, I have. I was in
yeah,
2 serious relationships, both of them which I walked away from. And then my first encounter with a man where I actually thought was gonna be someone that I thought, so we were working towards something, was a huge disappointment. Because he was a whole different other person and living a whole different other life than what he made it out to seem to
I don't
be.
understand those things.
And then that just kind of like, it was like a spiral of like getting out there and kind of like continuously, not too many times, but at least, like 2 guys after that. It was kind of like, I was like, damn, the dating game is dirty. And then that kind of just like gave me a lot of trust issues. And then there was a bunch of other things that I didn't heal from. And then like childhood trauma, that shit started coming into play and showing its ugly head. And that's when I started to realize that there's so many times that you can fall into an issue or a problem when you have to look in the mirror and realize what role are you playing in these situations and who's the common denominator in these situations. So I had to
that's
say,
real fact.
yeah, and I had to say, okay, what is it about me that's allowing me to continue to like fall into these situations? So then that's when I started going to therapy. I went to therapy for some time and then I stopped, and now I'm currently in therapy. And I'm working through those issues, and I'm trying to work through those issues. There's a lot of things, because I have some sessions that are great and some that are just like, ugh. You know what I'm saying? But it's because I had to face the ugly truth of Haydee, and that's a hard pill to swallow. So, like I said, I'm not 100% ready. And my fear is the disappointment, and 2, hurting someone else. The fear of hurting someone else. So,
I feel if you're not ready, you definitely don't rush it. You know what I'm saying? I just will say, and like I said, I can't speak for women or a woman or any woman. So I wouldn't try to, but I just do feel like there is a large percentage of men that do want to love y'all properly, do want to take care of y'all properly. We just have to like realize again. I think a lot of people that start making fun of people really don't even intend to. It's just some people are just on autopilot all the time. If we really just get grounded with ourselves and realize like that person that's making fun saying, "Oh, sis is a pick me," and sis really just picked up on what the nigga like, and she just really trying to be genuine with this man. We'll call him bro a simp just because bro showed up on day one with the full bouquet and this and that, like, and realize that that's what human energy does. That's what human nature does. When the pheromones attract you and you really want to pour into somebody and they shut you down or cut you off and it, you know what I mean? And it's like abrupt, it's nasty, it's mean, it's that why come at me like that energy and you don't understand it because it's unprovoked. This is why that energy of men don't treat you all right or men aren't chivalrous anymore. That's where it comes from. It's not that it does. It's not that men really don't want to love y'all. It is that same fear, that fear of. Because look, it's like, all right, you know how chicks don't want to trust dudes even more now because think about every little thing that happens, right? So the one example I'm gonna use is that dude posting an old girl. He driving her back to the airport, and he say he ain't gonna pay for her return ticket because she ain't give him no pussy while she was there, and it was like 2-3 days or some shit like that, right? That would make a woman not want to trust a nigga. You're now just bouncing me down to you only validating me off of my genitalia, and I get that. Dude was horrible for doing that. I'm using this to say that let's say that chick now she could be let's say she. I remember telling my man, I said, the way that video plays out, it was like day 2 or 3. Day 1, let's say she ain't getting no pussy on day 1 because she just flew in. Maybe she tired. Maybe the conversation they been having You know what I'm saying? He been kicking it more on some wanting to be with a shit and it ain't just flying out the fuck shit, right? So maybe chicks still want to feel like I could be cool around this nigga. Not day two. Yeah, you want some pussy. You expect some pussy because we adults. Not just because it's pussy, but because we're adults and we've been talking. But if you're going to put that woman out strictly over that, not because she disrespected your house, whether you want the pussy or not, even if you think you should get the pussy, and she don't need her, if you put this woman out your house strictly over that, what happens? That same woman. Now we don't know this woman's culture, but let's just hypothetically say this was a good woman. What happens the next time a nigga approaches her? She still might give in and date a nigga or deal with a nigga, have a situation with a nigga, but she's not gonna be as open and
Hell no,
caring
absolutely not.
as she right. And so when this new nigga is now coming and he dropping the roses and he doing this and he doing that, she's really now only looking at it as, yo, this last nigga just flew me out and it was only over pussy. You just buying me flowers. She's not even looking at it as, damn, this nigga is being nice to me and buying me flowers. Because this last nigga just did the most disrespectful shit to her. So it's not abnormal for her to think that niggas would only, you know what I'm saying? And then now this nigga has been shot down. He know he being nice, but he don't understand why he's not being received. And it just creates a revolving door. And we just got to break that cycle. It's really it. Men really want to be motherfucking nice to women. Bros, these women really want to be porno stars for y'all. Stop fucking treating them. Stop hanging. You want to fuck them and go hang with your niggas. Like,
We most definitely do.
you know what I
If
mean?
we
Like,
like you, we definitely want to be your personal porno star.
yeah, I told somebody, yo, I broke up with a chick, and then I think like a chick after her was like, you only like that chick because you watch porn. I said, nah, Slim. I said, my last chick proved to me that whole line of, them porno girls only do that because they getting money. That might be why they doing it. But this bitch out here is doing it for free. Yo, like, as long as you good to a woman, she 9 times out of 10 gonna be a freak. Like, and also, bros, stop asking for a freak and then you get one, and now you looking stupid because you really didn't know what the fuck you was asking for. Because you think putting your leg up when you hit in front and back is freaky. Nah, nigga, y'all niggas be asking for freak, and this woman open, she get. This woman get comfortable with herself, and now she open up and really motherfucking turn into a freak. Now your dumb ass talking about who you been with when you been. Nah, nigga. If you ain't ready for a freak, don't ask for him. My bad. I know that was low rank.
I have a follow-up question real quick. I have to.
What's up?
It has to exit my mouth before. Hey, yo, it got to exit my mouth before it gets lost. For the train leaves the station again. Okay, and this is reeling the topic back in. I have a question for you. Do you think that a lot of men equate being romantic or chivalrous with being vulnerable, and being vulnerable with a woman is not something that they're safe to do because of possibly men don't feel safe being vulnerable with women? With some
I'll say
women,
there's
I
a
should
group.
say. It's not a safe. They don't feel it's a safe space.
Yeah, I feel like there's a group of men who would view it just like you said it. I do. My bad. We live in a time where you're being told you're suspect if you eat soup. You're suspect.
What? If you slurp,
right?
If you slurp soup, it's sus.
No, I saw one the other day where the chick was simply like, he's suspect if he eats soup. That you're using a little spoon and only taking in little bites of food, and you're such a big man. That's kind of like homo. And I was like, what? So, hold on, do me a favor. Ask your question again.
Do you think that a lot of men equate chivalry and romance with vulnerability?
And that's why they not. Yeah, my bad. Yes, as some men, because being vulnerable has been, for one, a lot of niggas have been taught wrong. A lot of niggas have been taught not to be soft and open around their girl. They've been taught that was pussy. You know what I'm saying? And then also, a lot of women have not been taught how to properly accept a man being soft with her. Because if all you know of love, now imagine a woman who's not had a bad relationship. She's not been beat on. She's not been like had no domestic situation. She ain't been poor. Like ain't been no like fucked up situation. But it's been toxic, right? It's been like Gucci bags and bills paid and kids in private school. But every relationship been toxic. Then at times she meets that dude who is meeting all of the surface level criteria, but then he goes to like love on her the proper way. She's not receiving it right because she's never received it. She doesn't know how to. So if you haven't been taught how to receive it, then it can make a man, because you know what I mean. The man's not gonna like the way his man received, and even though that woman's not doing it maliciously, it's gonna feel that way. And so yeah, if you haven't been taught how to deal with emotions, you don't know how to receive them well. So that's one reason why men equate vulnerability with being open and like romantic and shit. And then two, just that, like I said earlier, I feel like I'm being cut down. Period. Like, and like I said, this is something and I say something because vulnerability and romanticism really don't have shit to do with each other. But the equation of it, or the lack thereof, could be for the diminishing of one. You see what I'm saying? His vulnerability was diminished. His openness was diminished. His weak time was diminished and made and looked down upon. So it could kill his want to be romantic for that woman.
I can see that. I can definitely see that.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Well, Haydee Baby, she has open arms for all the romantic puppies.
Uh-huh.
You know, my first relationship that I was in for 8 years, he was not romantic at all. Like, he just was not that. He was the type of man that, like, he was not affectionate. He was only really affectionate when he was drunk. He was not very affectionate. He was not like romantic or anything like that. And I accepted him.
Were y'all young though?
Well, he was 8 years older than me. So we started the relationship when I was 19 and he was 27, and we were together for 8 years. So yeah, he was not romantic throughout the relationship, and he kind of just programmed me that way. Like, don't expect it because I'm not like that. And I was young and naive, and I just became accustomed to it. Like, okay, this is not the way he is. I'm accepting him the way he is, whatever. So once we broke up, and my next relationship, he was all about romance. He was very romantic. He was very emotional. He was very like sensitive, and he was not afraid to show his feelings or express his feelings. And it was so different, but I loved it. It was a bit intense at first, and it took some getting used to because I was not used to it. You understand? Right. So it was a lot, and I was so non-emotional. So it was hard for me to open up to him, and it actually took a lot for me to be comfortable enough to open up to him and reciprocate that that energy and that, you know, openness. But once we got there, it was actually great. And it was so different. Like, I was just like, oh wow, like I knew that, like, that was my love language. Right. Like receiving gifts and like a romantic guy and an emotional guy. Like that's just the type of man that I like. You know what I mean? Like, don't be afraid to tell me how you feel, because I do provide a safe space for even just my male friends. You know what I'm saying? But when I'm with you and I'm with you on that level, like, I definitely do. I do provide that safe space to make you comfortable, to be able to have those conversations or to be able to express those feelings. And you don't have to be afraid that I'm going to like go to my girls group chat and be like, oh, he's a bitch or whatever, or he's a soft ass. And like, that's just not the type of person that I am at all, you know? So.
Right.
And I know women that are the total opposite. They don't
like
a lot
of
that
women
shit.
Do that shit.
Yeah, and they're the first ones to be like, oh, look, like he's being a softie with me and I don't like it. And I'm just like, yo, this is why men don't like opening up to us, because we do that bullshit, you know?
Yeah, it's like we've been told not to. We had a whole generation of men that was told not to be that way.
I
And then,
know. I
but
have
look,
brothers. I have older brothers. I have
right.
younger brothers. So I know. You know,
And then
I know
when we
that
get
struggle.
told, that it's okay to be that way with your woman, and then the first time, you know what I mean, for a lot of men, their first or few times of opening up to a woman, they get looked bad, looked down upon by that woman, or that woman go express herself to her friends, and now her friends making her feel. And it's like, yo, it's the most confusing thing to hear women on a daily say, I want a man that's gonna love me and take care of me and do all of this other shit, and then just shoot down every fucking man that comes along. And it's like, do you really want that? And I think a lot of people do. They just scared of doing the work. And it's the same thing with men, you know what I mean? Like, that's why I said niggas don't act for freaks if you really don't want one. And I mean, a woman is more than a freak, but like, yo, you niggas who your woman start making more money than you, and all of a sudden now it's a problem in your household, bro, guard your nuts, dog. Like, check yourself. Like, you're supposed to be cheering for that woman. If you the breadwinner, and that woman that went to school and she come home and she making more money than you, bro, champion that shit. That don't mean, ladies, ma'am, that don't make you the leader of this relationship. No, that mean you should throw your weight around. Tangible benefits both be, you know what I mean, match both sides. And I know this is like it's just a rant I went on, but I say that to say, bros, like, there's too many women out here that got these stories of winning or going to school and getting their shit together, and all of a sudden niggas is treating them worse. Stop, bro. Y'all really sitting on these chicks for winning?
Now. Stop it, damn it.
I've never understood that shit.
Then we got women like me are the ones that got to deal with that emotional unavailability from men, and it sucks.
And
it
women,
really sucks.
if you go out on a date and you make more than that man, stop equating that man to his bank account or his yearly salary. If the yearly salary is something that is already below your standard, that is fine. If you say to yourself, I can't date no man that make $80,000 or less, but that's understood. But if whatever your cutoff is, or if you don't have one, you can't be that chick that's making $100,000, $150,000, and just because you make $75,000, $80,000, that is, you've already taken 5 points away in a respect.
Oh God!
Can't do that.
Yeah,
can't disrespect the man because of his bank account. So, yeah, I just say that to the bros and the ladies. That's really a lot of the issue.
It is, and you broke it down very well. So I appreciate you for that.
No doubt.
So,
we love y'all.
To close out the show, I have a question that was submitted by someone, and she wanted me to read it on the podcast and give our input. So the question is, how do you deal with a partner whose sex drive is declining while your sex drive is still high? Cheat on them, sis. Nah, let me stop. Don't take my advice.
You don't really cheat on them, but you do go talk to that nigga and be like, hey, my sex drive is this. This is one of those times, listen.
Wait, you gotta explain your sex drive to your partner? Would he not already know that you have a high sex drive?
No. You don't explain your sex drive. You have to, a lot of times in sexual relationships, in intimate relationships, people will have the deepest conversations, but will not talk about sex, what they like, what they need, what they want, what turns them on, what turns them off. They exist with somebody and just take a crapshoot in the dark, like every fucking time, right? I say that to say, of course your partners are going to notice that they're going to notice that your sex drive is going down. And you're going to also know that their sex drive is high, so they're going to need a certain amount of sex. This is the time where you should be open enough to talk to your partner and either admit, hey, go, not too many men are gonna tell that lady, go get a boyfriend. You know what I'm saying?
You would tell your lady go get a boyfriend?
Now listen. I'm a different nigga.
I'm
right?
starting to know. I'm
not-
starting to notice that when you say, "Now listen," it's gonna go. It's gonna go left.
I'm a different nigga. I'm not saying that I'm about to sit here and just because my sex drive is declining, I'm gonna tell my chick to go get a boyfriend. First of all, let's find out why it's declining. Is it declining because of age? Is there something medically wrong? You know what I mean? Can we fix this? You know what I mean? Because every man wants to take care of his woman. You know what I mean? Now, you definitely, if your sex drive is just declining naturally, then of course you're gonna try to figure out ways to stay in the game. Maybe you get the blue pill. Maybe you work out more. I don't know. But the essence of the question.
What is something that is irreversible? Let's just say that.
That's what I was about to say. What if a nigga has prostate cancer?
Right.
And you know, a lot of times if they take your prostate out, your penis don't work. So let's say you're lady trying to get pregnant. Now, what you gonna do? Sit there
Cheat
and
on
not and that's exactly what she's gonna do. So I feel like a conversation has to be had.
That's the barefoot talking.
Terrible.
That's
the conversation does have to be had. Because if it's not had, then cheating can happen. And so no man is gonna say, yeah, go get another boyfriend. But if you really have to be honest with yourself, if that is the reason, if your penis is just not going to work, then a conversation needs to be had because that woman still wants to be sexually satisfied. So either we have to find a way to sexually satisfy her, or for her to find a compromise with you and sexually satisfy her in a different way that only involves you two. That's option one. Option two is you're going to have to open the doors of your relationship. Or option three, break the fuck up because you're going to get cheated on. Because it's not fair. Like we have to be. It's a lot of things. A motherfucker could lose a leg, and your mate will stay with you. You could lose both legs. Your mate will stay with you. You can go blind. You can go deaf. There's not too many things outside of actual like destruction of relationship factors that will make your mate leave. You can lose your motherfucking leg and your mate will stay. You lose too many jobs in a row, you're getting dumped. You see what I'm saying? My point is saying all of that is, if you really think about the physical, sex is the one part of the physical body that literally will make your mate leave you. So if you cannot fulfill them, if you cannot satisfy them, they've been there. We got to stop thinking that just because a motherfucker loves us, just because we actually do get along, or just because we built a business together, we had a perfect relationship. Stop thinking that motherfucker ain't. Just because your dick don't work no more, her sex drive still ain't going. Or just because your sex drive been dried up now, that his dick still don't work. Like we have to stop being foolish. And the minute we stop being foolish with ourselves and melt into ourselves and stop relying on the ego, then we'll just, again, no man's about to tell his woman, go get some dick. But if you have to be honest with yourself, you would much rather have that conversation and have arbitrary situations to where things can be talked about and lines drawn, boundaries set, and all of that shit before you get cheated on. Because now, that's
my original advice.
Because that's what she's gonna do anyway.
I'm speaking for Lexi because that would be Lexi's advice. She'll be like, cheat on him or break up, because she's all for people breaking up. So anytime you ask her for any type of relationship advice, she's like, just break up.
Because if you can't have a conversation, that's the thing. Like, she's asking advice now. If she listens, once she listens to the show and she hears niggas say, "Yo, go to your mate and say, hey, your sex drive is declining." Like I said, introduce pills to the nigga. Introduce the honey pack to the nigga. Something, It could be his work already.
I've ever been with a guy that used the honey pack. I don't know. Or Viagra or something.
You probably have.
Because I was with a guy that was like, I won't go into detail, but you can revert back to old, like, beginning episodes of Ladies Pitch, and I get into detail then, but but I've been with somebody that I'm like, now that I think back on it, I'm like, he had to be on something. Something. I don't know.
Sometimes you're trying to perform at top tier,
But he was top tier all the time.
Top tier performance.
He was
But
texting all the time.
nah, they definitely just need to have a conversation. That's all.
Yeah, I agree. A
Or
conversation
break up.
does have to be had for sure. That's definitely like you said, being able to reach a point where you're like, all right, babe, after you've exhausted all possibilities, blue pill ain't working out ain't working, or whatever is not working, and you're like, listen, I'll give you the green light to get yourself a boyfriend. You definitely have to push your ego to the side.
You
For
have
sure.
to.
Yeah, for sure.
You have to.
Mm-hmm.
Like, excuse me. Again, I'm not about to sit up here and tell my chick go get a boyfriend. I might even be the dude that's like, yo,
I'm
my
all
dick
for
don't work
women
no more.
having two
Let's break
boyfriends.
up. I mean, listen,
I'm
I'm
all
off
for women
arbitrary.
having two boyfriends, and I'm all for men having two girlfriends.
I'm for arbitrary situations.
Mm-hmm.
It's a
As
whole
long as
nother
I'm
conversation.
girlfriend number one.
I've had that life before.
Mm-hmm.
Two girlfriends. Yeah.
They knew about one another.
I've had a time where there was like 5 women in my life at the same time.
And they all knew. I know someone that has. Yeah, I know someone that knows a guy that has about like two or three girlfriends. They all know about one another.
None of them. Yeah, and that's the thing. None of them was like girlfriend to the point where like they had, like one could like pull rank over the other.
So they were just 5 situations. None of them were girlfriends.
Well, all right. So,
about to break this
how
down.
can I say? And the way it was broke down was like, you have all right. So think of an NBA franchise, right?
I'm not a sports girl, but continue.
All right. So think of in sports you got your general manager. Then under the general manager you got your head coach, and then you got your starting 5. And then that starting 5 you got your star player, and that's how you break down. That's how it was broke down. And
I need to be star player. See,
the GM and the head coach would have been my girlfriends. You see what I'm saying? And then that starting 5 right there, those women like just everybody know about each other. Everybody's special. Everybody get their time. Everybody get their foot rub. Everybody go to the movie. Everybody go on vacation. Whatever. Time is time. But it's like Future said. I feel like this, and this is no bullshit. When I'm single, I feel just like this. If I pick her up on Monday, and I'm with her to Thursday. From Monday to Thursday, I'm buying every bag. If we going on a trip, we going. Nothing. It don't matter. Everything is for you while we together. But as soon as you leave Thursday, our time together is our time together. Our time is apart is our time apart. You know what I mean? If we aren't official, so
dropping bombs on here tonight, Rose. Dropping bombs. Yeah. I appreciate you for that.
I lived a very, very great hedonistic life. But anyway, go ahead, my bad.
No, we reached the end of the show. You survived. You made it to the other end. Light at the end of the tunnel. It wasn't that bad, right?
Nah, this was a great time. I know I spoke so long. I killed that other question, the one about the double standards, but my bad.
No,
but I had a great fucking time.
It's all good. I appreciate you giving me your time and joining me on this episode of Ladies Pitch, popping your Ladies Pitch cherry. Let everyone know where they can find you and what you got going on. In case they didn't hear it at the top of the episode. It needs to be reminded.
For sure. You can find me at Penrose Eames on all social medias. Again, watchccentertainment.com. Over there you can find Protest and Riot and Penrose versus Anybody. Plus 5 other podcasts. Also go to YCC Entertainment on YouTube. And you can find our open mic shows that we do every Wednesday and every Thursday out here in Northern Virginia. Also, find me on Or Docked Up every other Sunday with my sisters Chris and VJ, where we sit down and we discuss documentaries that we have watched over the previous weeks. And it's dope because, like, 9 times out of 10, somebody from the actual documentary like hits us up, like, yo, they either want to beef with us or like they love the show.
Oh, that's dope.
But yeah,
I
it's
love me
always
a
a
good
crack to it.
documentary.
We all docked up. We the joke over there is we have a talent for turning pain into comedy and still making you cry at it. Like, we're just really good at what we do. Any motherfucking way.
Talent.
Uh, yeah, that's about it. Like I say, 3 podcasts, an open mic show, and shit, anywhere, honestly. You want to know where else you can find me? Somewhere in the South.
In your baby mama's bed.
I'm not that guy. I try not to break up happy home.
Okay.
Somebody did tell me the other day. Somebody said to me the other day, it was like, yo, you like being in the South? I was like, yeah. And it was like, you know what else you like? And I was like, what? I was like, what's up with your affinity for Spanish women from the Bronx? And I was like, you know what? So, if you find me in the South.
Well, I appreciate you for appreciating us and loving us, because women from the Bronx, you know, we get a bad rap at times. So I don't know.
Nah, listen. So my whole love for New York, I ain't gonna front. A Brooklyn nigga, like most niggas that I hung out with was like Brooklyn niggas or like Harlem niggas. But like, it's something about, I don't know why. I don't know how. I don't know. I was just destined in my life to happen that way. But every chick I've messed with from New York, any woman that I have been close to, held hands with, been friends with, been sexually active with, and they come from the state of New York, all come from the city of New York, and they all come from the Bronx or the Black Hispanic. I got Brooklyn homies. I got Harlem homies. I got homies from Queens, very few of them. I know niggas from in every borough, but I know only women. I might know one. Nope, I take that back. I know women from like Brooklyn, but like intimate relationships, close relationships, super close friends, anything like that, have all been women from the Bronx.
So we're gonna crown you a certified Bronx woman lover.
Oh, for sure. That's a thing. That's a thing. That's the truth.
And hopefully soon, I'll be making a trip. We're gonna talk about it. We're gonna plan it out and make a trip down to VA, because I actually love Virginia. I love Virginia.
Come through. I told you, come through from being on the show, man.
Yeah.
You have a good time.
Plan it out. But thank you again, Penrose, for joining me tonight. I appreciate it. Make sure you guys subscribe to the podcast. Follow him on all streaming platforms, on YouTube, anywhere you can find a podcast, find any of his shows. Make sure you guys follow him on all the socials. Make sure you guys follow the Ladies Pitch on Instagram, again at Ladies Pitch, and on Twitter, Pitch718. On YouTube, our handle is Ladies Pitch. Ladies, remember, you deserve to be happy and fucked disrespectfully. I'm pretty sure Penrose will agree with me on that. And yeah, we'll catch you guys on the next one. Thank you so much. This is your favorite mommy, Haydee Baby. See you on the next one. Peace.
Peace.